Welcome to Lions Den Network Spotlight Interviews. Today we have a renowned stylist with us, Styles by DQ. Now you see, in a world where most people simply get dressed, DQ steps in and turns fabric into transformation. So now we get to learn from the stylist himself on who is Styles by DQ. So how you doing, Styles by DQ?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited to get to dive into more about you, because when you search up, we see your work, we see the people that you work with. But who's DQ? You know what I'm saying? I was always curious. I've had the blessing to be able to build a bond, a friendship with you over time, and I get to see the greatness that you possess, and I love for the world to see the greatness you possess as well. So I want to start this off with asking you, what moment or experience that you've had that first pushed you towards styling?
Well, a moment that I had, I would say it was when I was little, and I used to watch this show called What Not to Wear. It was a popular show on the TLC network, and it was hosted by a guy and a female, and they used to just transform people's closets. Like, they would take them and they would talk to them about, what they wanted to do with their wardrobe, and they would throw all their clothes in a bin, and the people would be like mad and all this other stuff. And then they would go to their houses and they would like, okay, like, why do you have this? Or why do you have this? And what does this mean to you? So I think for me, I wanted to make somebody else feel good. I don't really know the particular age I was, but I was probably like, if I had to guess, maybe like 8, 9.
Wow.
And I think that's when I first got a little, I guess knowing, but I didn't know, because obviously at that age you don't know. But I think for me, it was a moment when I was like, I like how they put their clothes together, and I like how they make them feel afterwards. They would literally have a mannequin of, this is how we want you to look. This is how you look now. So it would be a whole thing, and then they would have to come out, and then they would be, some of them would be in tears, some of them would be, just smiling, and it made them feel good. So I know that was a little long-winded, but that was when the moment that I kind of felt like, oh, well, I like this. I like watching this. Yeah. What is this?
So since that being so young, being school age, did you happen to see family members or anything like that? And would you judge people's styles? Did you start judging people's style, or if you was in school, all of that?
Yes, and I could always knew how to put stuff together. Even when I was that age, I knew how to put this with this. I mean, naturally, when you that age, you have somebody else dressing you. But I think when I got 9 and 10 and stuff like that, I'm dressing my own stuff. So I kind of knew what to put with what, even at that age. But I think I would look at my grandma a lot, my aunts a lot, but I would mainly watch TV. I think TV was, like I said, that show specifically, I would sit there literally for hours watching that. And so I think that's what I saw as far as, but naturally I had family members who could dress and were able to dress. And I think seeing that with a combination of TV.
Nice. So would you say do you have any specific fashion icons that maybe helped influence you on the way that you may have seen on the TV? Maybe celebrity styles that you always admired? Or do you have any, you kind of mentioned some of your family members. I don't know if they necessarily influenced you into some of the styles that you started to enjoy, but do you have any names that you could give that definitely influenced your styles?
As far as I can say, a person, celebrity, I always liked their style. I think for me, Tracee Ellis Ross, I always say that has always been my favorite, since I can remember. I just like her aesthetic. I like the fact that she does not need a stylist, because I've seen how she dresses without that. And I think for me, it inspired me more than I think than anybody, because you can put stuff with stuff and make stuff look right with this, and not be afraid and be fearless with style, because style is supposed to be fun. Style is not supposed to be taken seriously. And I think that was the first person, and I would say Jennifer Lopez too.
J-Lo from the block?
Yes.
From that block?
I love her style.
And what about her style that you like as well?
I like the fact that she still remained, her being from, New York, and she has that thing of, I've always heard her say, like, she liked the big hoops, the top knot, with maybe like big leg pants with sneakers, and maybe like a blazer, or she would wear a big old hoodie and then dress it up. I just think I like the fact that she can go from glamour girl to a girl from New York. And I just think she knows how to put stuff together and what looks good on their bodies.
That's it. Okay, so now that we're talking about what looks good on bodies, I want to ask you, how do you adapt your styling approach for different body types, personalities, or maybe occasion?
I think one, to get to know the person I'm working with. That's one, to figure out what their insecurities are, as far as dressing wise, because obviously we all have insecurities when it comes down to clothes and what we will wear and what we won't wear. And I think I approach every person differently, because I think you're supposed to. I think for me, it's more so a conversation, and I take bits and pieces of the conversation, and then I go into this, I go into this place to where I can envision the person standing in front of me. It's very weird, and if I'm saying this to somebody, it would sound like I'm crazy, but I really go into a place of the person is standing in front of me and they're a mannequin. So I'm like, okay, well, this will look good on their body. Well, maybe not this, maybe I need to take this out, or maybe I need to add this. So I think for me, it starts off with the conversation, and once I get the conversation with that person, I'm able to adapt in a way. I don't know, I really can't explain it, because I can meet somebody and I don't know them personally, but I would know how to dress them. It's weird.
No, I mean, that's what emphasizes why, like, you're made for this, in a sense of like your vision to begin from a simple conversation, that other people, for your mind to go to, okay, I've talked to this person, we've had this conversation, I can see them with this color, this type of silhouette. That's amazing. I think that's dope. I think that speaks a lot for your work, you know what I mean, in that way. So I would go into asking, what do you think that having this love for style and actually taking the steps to dive deep and go far with this, what do you think styling teaches you about people?
That one, that everybody has insecurities, but it's up to my job to make it not a thing, a crutch to them. And I think also is to make anyone feel good about themselves. And I think for me, that's the mission, because I feel like styling is a form of therapy for other people through me, and having a conversation, because when you really think about it, you meet somebody and they kind of dress, say a person who always wear black or something, and I worked with them, I had a conversation with them, I kind of take them all the way out of their comfort zone, but then when they kind of see it, because obviously it's a trust factor that the person has to gain for them agree to even for me to work with them. But I think once they see the final product and they see themselves in the outfit, I think that for me be the moment that I'm like, dang, like I really did something here with this person, because you don't know what you're doing, because oftentimes a person don't reveal everything, obviously, to me, but I think bits and pieces of stuff that they tell me, I kind of either make them I just make them feel good. I think I just make them feel good through style, and yeah.
Okay, so with this question, follow-up question, what is a learning moment in your styling career that stuck with you and changed your game a little bit?
Well, one styling moment I would say that changes mine. The love of it. Do you mean the love of it?
More change how you approach styling. So like as you were building your career, what was one time that you styled somebody and you learned something of like, I'm gonna switch it different? Like for an example, you brought up a part of your process is like, I gotta conversate with this person, learn a little bit about them, and then, you know, the vision starts coming to play. So a part of that process, what has helped you tweak to get to that process? Like, is there any learning moments that you've had where you style somebody and you're like, I would do that differently next time? Or I have to approach people like this to get better styling out of them?
I think for me, my approach thing is that don't be so hard on myself when it comes down to styling someone. Because I used to do that in the beginning of my career. I used to be like, I could literally be on the photo shoot and say like, dang, maybe I could have done this better, or maybe I could have changed this, or, you know, maybe I could have just started the whole thing over and just started over. But I stopped kind of being like that because I was like that all the time with every person, with every model, whatever they were. I was working with them, but I was more so, it's not them, it was more so me, hard on myself, because I want to give my best work, and I felt like, well, maybe this wasn't my best. But I think every year, for me personally, I feel like my style has elevated the more stuff I've learned, like as far as, because I'm self-taught. So for me, I feel like me looking at trends, and I don't follow trends, but you can take bits and pieces of stuff that you're seeing from, you know, Instagram or, you know, Pinterest or whatever to get some ideas, but you got to make the look your own. So I think for me, I've made everybody's look specifically for them. So nobody can say, well, you styled me like this one, or I styled you like this one. Well, no, because my process is totally different from, like I said, just from everybody. So I think it's been moments within myself, I think, that it's not a specific person, but I just think in the beginning, maybe the first 3-4 years, I was kind of like, I would be like, maybe I need to change this, or maybe I should have did this, or maybe I should have did. Now I don't do that. I kind of trust myself a little bit more. To once I do it and it's there in my face, it's like, I'm not changing it. I maybe add to it, maybe add a little piece of jewelry or something, but that's about it. I'm not changing it.
That's dope. So, okay, following up that question, I want to ask, so far in your career, what is one of those milestone moments that you hit that you were like, I'm doing this, this is me, and for you to feel like, okay, I'm great at this?
How many can I name?
Honestly, feel free, because not to be selfish, me working with you and ours having our time and our photo shoot, you delivered exactly what I wanted. That's always gonna be one of my biggest modeling moments, honestly. It's executing that shoot to tell you, hey, look, I'm doing this birthday shoot. We're shooting magazine covers. We're doing it. I'm gonna go. I could brag about a lot of things that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? You do, but give me. You know, we'll cut it down to 3 maybe. What's your big 3 milestones?
One of them is having a billboard in Times Square of my styling work. That was a big moment for me.
Details on the work?
I styled a gentleman in a suit. It was yellow. Well, yeah, I think it was it was blue. It was blue. I styled him in a suit that was out of his comfort zone at the time. But it was very much, he loved it. Like once we finished everything and once the pictures came out and he did it, the photo shoot, he loved it. Like that's one of his favorite photo shoots. And I think for me, when I saw myself on a billboard and in Times Square, and it was the biggest one out there, I was like, oh wow, like this is a big moment. And I think the second one is my work being on the Jennifer Hudson show. That's one of them.
Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about that outfit, details?
Well, a client of mine hit me up and said that she was going to be a guest on the show. And I thought, well, maybe she a guest that's in the audience. She's like, well, no, it's the guest, me sitting up there with her. And she was like, I would love for you to style me for that. And I was excited because I was just like, okay, well, what you need me to do? And so she stayed in California. So she told me that she wanted to do color. And they told her kind of like, you can do whatever as long as you don't, they didn't really want her to dress the same color as Jennifer Hudson. But she just let me have full control. And because I felt like she was going to be on daytime TV, I was like, well, maybe we can do this little jumpsuit, have a little sparkle right here, have a little bow earring. And then she had on like a red and sparkly kind of sandal. And I think it was good for the moment. And it was during the springtime. So I felt like that red, it really looked good on her skin. But I was shocked for the opportunity because I wasn't looking for the opportunity. And I didn't know that, I didn't know that was capable for me to get that. Honestly, if I'm being honest about it, I was never thinking that way. But when it was presented to me, I was really happy. So that's been one, and I think one of them is having I think I've won like 6 styling awards, so I think all of those mean something to me in different times. But I think when I won my first one as a wardrobe stylist of the year, I think that solidified me because that's through your community, your peers, and these people selected you for this. So it's not like, it was a board, and plus a board of people in the state of North Carolina. So I thought that was one of the biggest moments for me too.
Then that's already an impactful career, man. I love to hear that. So I also want to ask for you and the people, what's one piece that you feel like every person should have in their wardrobe? And this is regardless of gender, or you could split it up, women, men, whatever. But what's that one piece that you think is a staple piece that people should always keep?
I think everybody should have a boot, man or female. You have a black boot, a brown boot. Yeah, black boot, brown boot. And I think everybody should have a blazer, man and female, Women should always have a black dress. Guys should always have a black suit. And I think you should always have accessories. Yeah.
What's some of your favorite accessories?
I love bracelets. Okay. I love rings. I love it all. Necklaces, earrings. But I think my favorite is bracelets.
Okay, nice. And so after that, I gotta ask, what do you see fashion going in the next 5 years? Especially now with social media is pretty big. I know a lot of people, do the fit checks thing and all of that, and nowadays it's a trend about quarter zips from Nike Tech. So what do you see fashion going in these next 5 years from 2025?
I think fashion go evolve. I mean, it's more, I think people is more daring with fashion. I think fashion is going to get more creative. You seeing people, look at, what I have on today. I think that fashion is supposed to be expressive, and I think more people is tapping into that, men and female, as far as on the runway and stuff like that. I think fashion has evolved since the 90s and early 2000s.
That's dope. That's dope. I could agree with that. And so now I want to close you off with this. How do you want to work? How do you want your work to impact people's relationship with clothing?
I think I want my impact to be is to know that it's not just about clothes. It's about me creating a moment with them, with the clothes. I think every person I work with, I can remember why I styled them, what I styled them for, and how it made them feel, and how it made me feel. I think it's not just about the clothes. The clothes is the added thing, but I think for me it's about the moment, the moment I'm getting the opportunity to work with them.
That's so great. That's so great. So I want to leave this time for you. Speak on any maybe people that you want to style or somebody that's on your like top style list. Feel free to give gratitude to anybody, but feel free to close it out how you want to close it out.
Well, I would just say, like, I appreciate, everybody for supporting me through, the years of my styling career and the growth that I've had. And honestly, I'm proud of myself. Like, I'm proud of myself and where I've started, where I'm going, and the good, the bad, the indifferent. I think that all has made me a better stylist. And to having supportive friends like you, and I think for me, everyone has, I think, mean something to me as far as fashion wise. Encouragement for everybody that's encouraging me, pushing me, and just being that supportive person, because you need that. I mean, I need that. And I think for me, that's about it. Like, I'm just grateful to be able to still work in the industry and still get new clients and old clients and the ones that want to continue to create with me, and keep evolving with me, because I think it's just not about me. It's about helping the community and helping people that want to be styled and want to grow and want to elevate.
I thank you so much for opening up your time for this interview, DQ. I'm so excited to see the work that you have coming forth and where you take this, because I definitely believe you're one of those spotlight stars that will elevate and be able to take this to somewhere crazy. So thank you for this time. This has been the Lions Den Network Spotlight interview. Peace.